This is a creepypasta story that I wrote myself. I hope you enjoy it. In today's world, dating has changed. Back then, guys and girls would just go up to each other and ask each other out. With technology at our fingertips, we can just go online to a dating site, create a profile, add in a bunch of information about ourselves, add a profile picture, and send each other messages. Of course, these dating sites aren't what they seem to be. Jake Miller was a 23-year-old guy who lived alone in an apartment. He was an average guy who always would help out his friends whenever they were in trouble. He was the kind of guy you can count on for anything. He was fresh out of college, owning a degree in criminal justice, but as of now has not been able to get solid employment. So he's been working as a cashier at the nearest supermarket for the time being. Another co-worker, Johnny Everett, was another cashier who was about the same age as Jake. Johnny, unlike Jake, has a girlfriend who he met on an online dating site. Seeing how happy he was and how Jake wasn't, Jake wanted to get a girlfriend too. One day after work, Jake went up to Johnny asking him to show him that dating site where he met his girlfriend. Johnny agreed and told Jake to get into his car and follow him to his place to show him the website. Johnny lived in the next town over, so it was about a 20-minute drive to his place. Jake pulled up to an apartment complex, got out of his car and followed Johnny inside to his place on the second floor. Johnny showed Jake the website. It was a simple dating site. Created an account, add a picture, put in information about yourself, and so on. After Jake created his profile, he left Johnny's apartment, telling him that he would see him at work tomorrow. Jake got back to his place, changed out of his work clothes, and decided to get some sleep. He would check on his profile in the morning. The next morning, Jake went on to the dating site to check his profile. He saw at least 12 different responses. He checked on each one of them until he saw a picture of a beautiful raven-haired woman with perfect skin, beautiful green eyes, and wearing a black dress. Her name was Veronica Stone. He couldn't believe it. He decided to send her a message telling her, hello, that he was new to the online dating world. It wasn't even 5 minutes until he got a message from her that she also was new and wanted to find a man to love her for who she is and not her body, as her last boyfriend only dated her just to impress his friends. 8 hours has passed, so Jake was getting off work, changing into some nice clothes in the bathrooms before clocking out. Jake headed out to his car and entered the address Veronica messaged him days ago on GPS on his phone. It took him to a secluded location 5 miles out of town, where there was only a single-floor house surrounded by tall trees and grass that looked like it hasn't been cut in a while. Jake got out of his car, looked around only to see darkness in all directions. He took out his phone and turned on the flashlight, pointing it at the front of the house. He moved slowly towards the house, only about halfway, when he heard what sounded like somebody running behind him. Turning backwards to see no one behind him, his heart was starting to race rapidly, getting a bad vibe that he wasn't alone. He quickly walked up to the door, knocking to let Veronica know that he had arrived and to let him inside. He heard a female voice telling him to meet her around back. He asked if she was sure. She didn't respond. Jake took a look around his surroundings with his flashlight in his hand, looking towards his right when he saw a dark, hooded figure standing by the tree line. He banged on the door many times to let Veronica know that he wanted to come in really bad. When he looked back, the figure was now running towards him, holding what looked like a blunt object in his hand. Jake needed to do something quick. He threw his phone at the figure, stunning him, allowing enough time for Jake to run back to his car, but in the process, having a hard time trying to get inside with it being really dark and realizing that he threw his phone at the dark figure until he was finally able to get inside. Jake quickly started up his car, noticing a dark hooded figure running towards him. Jake quickly stomped on the gas pedal, driving as fast as he could, realizing that he has to turn around and go back the same way he came, seeing that the dark figure was now gone. Jake drove back to town to the nearest police station, informing the officer at the front desk what he just encountered. Police drove to the address to check it out, searching the whole house, finding no one there. Now realizing that his phone is gone and that the dark hooded figure now has it, he now knows what could happen. Jake told Johnny about his encounter, canceled his cell phone so the hooded figure couldn't use it, and moved to a different apartment, also informing his friends and family about what happened, even seeing that his story was now in the news. Jake refused to answer questions from news crews in hopes of hiding himself so whoever was about to attack him won't find him. To this day, Jake no longer trusts internet dating sites, and after his encounter, will have an even harder time meeting someone. So this is the story that I wrote on Creepypasta, and I changed a little bit of the wording. I submitted it, but it hasn't been approved yet, and if it isn't, then whatever. Thank you.